Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to our Europa Universalis 4 game playthrough slash beginner tutorial, where we're just picking a nation, in this case Delhi, because I've seen that they've been pretty successful in computer hands recently. I just, want to try them out. And we're just going through, I'm explaining all the decisions I'm making and kind of figuring out strategies, explaining what I'm trying to do and why I'm doing it, in the hopes of giving newer players insight into the game. So please feel free to post questions in the comment section. So one thing I haven't really talked about is what exactly we hope to accomplish. So we'll get to that in a second, but I noticed that we've got a new choice for a mission. If we conquer Hedoti, we would get prestige every year for the next 10 years, and we would get 10% more manpower back. Let's do that. Because they have no friends, and we're going to have a peace treaty expire in 3 years. Okay, so to answer my question, what do we hope to accomplish? Well, if you pick a nation, often in your national decisions here, if you go to the main country view and go to your missions and decisions tab, you could actually just bring this up and hit 8, and it'll take you to the 8th tab. You'll see some decisions like you can change your government form, or you can often form a different nation. So for instance, if you start playing in the German region, there's no Germany at game start. There's lots of little states like... Wow, that's weird. I wonder what is going on there. Sorry, lost my train of thought. I'm seeing weird stuff on the screen. I just showed something off that I should explain. That if you can see part of a country on the map, you can click on that part and it will show you that country's capital. So that's what I saw, Constantinople. You can see part of Ottomans. I clicked them and it showed me their capital in Constantinople. Anyway, what I was saying is, if you play as somebody like if you play in the German region, there's no Germany. Germany doesn't form historically until 1870. So that's a German region, but it's populated by a bunch of small little countries like the Palatinate and Saxony and Brandenburg. If you're playing as one of those countries, if you conquer enough stuff in the area, you can form the country of Germany. Or if you're playing in the Italian region, there's no country of Italy. That also is a 19th century construction. You can play as Tuscany or Florence or Venice or Naples. And if you conquer enough in the Italian region, you can form the country of Italy. Well, for us, we could form the country of Hindustan, which is an alternate name for India. And it's from the Persian, means the land beyond the Indus River, which is what Hindus and the Hindi language is named after. Sorry, Cat is being very vocal tonight, so I'm going to pick him up on my lap, pet him, and see if we can get him to be passive and less mouthy. There we are, bud. Okay, so that I think should be one of my goals, right? To form the nation of Hindustan. And it is a mighty nation. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to have a very stable country. We're almost all the way there. And we have to own a lot of territory in central and northern India. If we accomplish that, our nation will change to Hindustan. We will get a new flag. We will get a higher empire, higher government rank. We'll gain some prestige. We'll talk about government ranks later on, but for now it's not all that important to pay attention to that. But notice that says gets a permanent claim on the Bengal region. we'll get claims on all of this stuff. So we could just invade anyone in that region to take their territory. Same with the Hindustan region, and the Western India region, and the Deccan region, and the Coromandel region. So we can look here, we've got a little mini map that we can use to zoom around. We also have a bunch of different map modes that we can customize. And we can look at these regions and see what that encompasses. So Coromandel is one of them. Deccan, Western India, Hindustan, Bengal. So we would get the option of invading anyone who has territory up here in Hindustan, Western India, Deccan, Coromandel, or Bengal. We wouldn't get any rights to Maldives or Maldives. We wouldn't get any claims on the Baluchistan region or Khorasan or Tibet. But we could basically create a very powerful Indian state. So that's one of our goals. Alright, so where were we? Well, we're working to integrate Bangladesh into our country. And that's just going to take a little bit of time. And we're also working to try spreading the Renaissance. And we're 94.97% of the way there. Let's do it one last time, and it is present. We have one province that has the Renaissance. If we go to our main country view and click on Technology and go to the institutions, click over to the Renaissance, we see that it is now present in Delhi and is going to spread from there everywhere around us. It will go to friendly provinces more quickly, but will spread also outward throughout the rest of India, even to the countries we don't like. And as it spreads to more of our country, it becomes cheaper for us to embrace the Renaissance, and if we do, we get an immediate bonus. Our build cost, if we build buildings, and our development becomes a little cheaper. And we permanently get rid of that penalty to our technology. So our technology is 9% more expensive, and that penalty will go away. And then we'll be caught up on institutions until 1500, when the next institution will spawn. Colonialism almost certainly is going to be in Europe as well. And the printing press is going to be in Europe. Okay, so let's unpause it and carry on. Actually, let's take a look, see how long this video has been going on. 8 minutes, okay. I just want to keep an eye on that. I can see Timurid troops, now that they've occupied almost all of Multan, are starting to make their way over, try an invasion of... they thought twice about that. Jaunpur. Okay, collecting taxes. Hey, there are many in our realm, including clergy, that are exempt from taxes. Do we want to tax them? Or we can tax them, get some more money, lose piety. No, we want to get some prestige and piety. Okay. We're just trying to let our country prosper. I see that we've brought our rebels under control. Our budget is hurting still a little bit because we inherited an army that we don't have room for. And we can see the troops of Jaunpur have now entered our territory and are marching across to try fighting against the Timurids. And we hope lots of people die on both sides. And now that we have pushed through here, and we do have a border with Maywar, pull back one of our diplomats and start fabricating some claims so that we can prepare to go to war with Maywar at some point. We can see Jampuris and Ladakhis fighting up in Baltistan, Ladakh. And the Timurids are going to kill these Jampuri troops. Let's see how large their army is after this battle. Jampur's army is only just under 12,000 men. So I think you guys know what that means. They're weak. They have some of our cores. I don't think we're going to get a better shot at this. So if we were to declare war on them, we need a reason to do it. And we can announce reconquest of this territory that we consider to be our rightful territory. Sounds good. So what are we going to declare war over? We can do it over Central Doab. And we can see that Multan, despite being allied to Jampur, is not going to assist them as they are exhausted from war and some of their provinces are occupied and or besieged by some other person. Nepal would, however, come to the assistance of Jampur, and the subject of Jampur, Bagelkhand, would come to their assistance. Baluchistan owes us some favors now, so they would join in our war on our side. So let's see what we could expect. Jampur has, again, 12,000 men. They could potentially hire some more. Nepal brings that up to 17,000. And then Bagelkhand was their subject. So 20,000 troops. We have 27,000 plus 5,000 Bangladeshis would help us. And there's 9,000 Baluchistanis. So it's on. Okay, we're setting our war goal as something we can easily seize in the war, and that looks like Central Doab. We're going to lose a little bit of piety for invading a fellow Sunni nation, but, you know, who cares? We've declared the war, and we need to move troops into their country. We have 2 armies, but only 1 general. So we could spend 50 military power to get a 2nd general. I'm not going to do that at the moment, though, because I can see that Jampur has military tech level 5, and we only have military tech level 4. We need to save up some points and get caught up as quickly as possible. Nepal's troops are on the same level as ours. 1 second. Sorry, wanted to cough and clear my throat there. Just for vocal quality. Voice is getting a little scratchy. So I don't think I'm going to record too many more videos today. And we can see the disorganized army of Jampur, who lost the battle up here. They were retreating, and they retreated all the way down to Central Doab, where there's going to be a battle. They're retreating into the arms of our troops, and you can imagine how well that's going to go for them. Their troops hit us, were completely disorganized, and we just surrounded and eliminated them. We lost under 2,000 men, and they lost almost 8,000, which was the bulk of their army. So now they have 5,000 men, and they're relying upon mercenaries to get them to that figure. So we're going to instruct our subject capture this territory for us. Splendid. White elephant. We've managed to get a hold of a holy white elephant, a symbol of royal justice and power. Peace and prosperity for our kingdom. This is a random event, gives us 1 stability. We are as stable as we can get. We enjoy lots of beautiful bonuses from that. Our subject is not doing what we asked them to do. I'm going to shift and consolidate these troops down just to have them ready for battle in case we need to fight. And they are moving on to Kandahar. And we can see Timurids have marched ahead of us to try taking this Jampori fort. We're going to send just... should we do that? No, we're not going to do it. I was going to send some troops along to back them up just in case they left. We would take over the siege. But we're just going to hang back. We broke the walls of Gerd. I can see their troops moving around. Wow, they've hired some more mercenaries. So they do actually have an army over here. But they're beating up on our subject, not on us. We'll just let them continue to do that. Actually, that's probably not going to be a big distinction, because we're about to finish integrating our subject. Okay, so there's a war between Vijayanagar and Bamanis. Vijay is the aggressor, because Bamanis is fighting in another war. Bamanis likes us. But my last game was just testing out Delhi to see sort of how they worked in current time. They won us in a war, which was really annoying. So I'm going to root on Vijayanagar. Actually, they won us in, yeah, just one war, but it was really expensive. And they were beating our troops in another war, despite the fact that we actually won in the end. It was really ugly. Regardless, that's not something we need to concern ourselves with now. We just need to save up some military technology. Capture some Jampori forts. And hope that the Timurids kill as many Jamporis as possible. We can see the army of Nepal is right here. But there's something about forts that we haven't talked about before. And that's if we look at a fort. Like I went to our fort map mode just so that they stand out. It shows the enemy forts here in a red color. If a fort is not a capital fort, it's a real fort, like this fort level 2, then it has a zone of control around it. All the provinces touching it, all the adjacent provinces, fall under its zone of control. If you enter that zone of control, your only option for movement is to leave the way you came, or leave back to a friendly territory, or to advance onto that fort. So we are in the zone of control here. We're adjacent to the fort of Balreich. And now our only options are to move back to Delhi or Upper Doab, or to move on to Balreich. We cannot choose to go to Lucknow instead. There's a couple exceptions to that. They're complicated, and it's sometimes a non-intuitive system. But that's a general overview. We've captured Gerd. So we can move these troops over here. They have not entered into the zone of control of the fort. And here's one of the exceptions. I was pointing out that there are some exceptions to that rule that I just told you about. And for the ease of the computer being able to, plan out their course of movement, one of the exceptions to the rule is that if you could get there any other way, like moving from Gerd to Etawah to Lucknow, then I can move there with this army. We're going to try chasing down these guys. It looks like they've escaped for the moment. We're going to let Jampor's army sit on this fort while we conquer more of their territory. And I'm just hoping that the Timurid troops will go down there and engage with them in battle. We don't have a whole lot of spare manpower. Okay, well, that might not happen. Let's take a look at their troops. Okay, so they have 21,000, 2,000 of which are cavalry, and they got a pretty decent general who gets, he's a master of arms like ours, so their cavalry, or their infantry will fight better. So they got a better general than us. But we do have more troops. We have 26.4 thousand. Let's see, can we move over there? We'd have to go all the way around. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a great idea. Let's just go onto their capital and try to capture it. Oh, that war ended. Multan lost some territory, but they survive with no friends. I'm wondering if we could invade them. Timurids would still join in. It's pretty funny. Timurids have a lot of debt, though. I'm gonna move this army up onto that fort to try to siege out both of them at the same time. And they're probably going to capture this fort. Yeah, they're going to capture it well before we capture theirs. But our subjects and allies have 14,000 troops over here. And we're making respectable progress. We have the war goal, Central Doab. The troops are moving around. Where they're going to go. Not sure if they know. What are they doing? They're going for the fort of Lahore. So hopefully we can capture one or both of these forts and go up there and face them down. Sadly, we're going to run out of manpower at some point. So we've integrated Jaisalmer into our country, and now we have room for another ally. Sorry, we have Bangladesh. Jaisalmer is this guy. And we can extend state rights over a couple places, like here. And here. And reduce that autonomy down. Okay, we've inherited their army. Let's use that to try restoring our control over some of this territory. And we're losing money because, again, we've inherited an army and we're way over what we're supposed to have. And we're laying siege to this fort. We need 6,000 men. We only have 4. So we can't make any progress, but we can stop them from reinforcing. They're not going to get any more men in that fort. And that's what we need. Let's get our military tech up to level 6. Now we're 3 years ahead of time. Let's just check to see how long this video has been going on. 24 minutes. Let's try to keep it up for another 5 to 6 minutes. I think I'm going to send over 1 unit of troops to help out with that siege. So hopefully we can recapture this fort. And we've cracked the walls on Jampur, which is really nice development. And our ally is going to attack Egelkand, who is a subject of Jampur. And we have captured now the enemy capital, and our ally is going to fight with the forces of Nepal here, so we're going to help them out and try to capture this other Jampuri city, or province. Okay, agricultural revolution. New farming techniques have improved our state. We could gain manpower, base tax, or production in the province of Chittor. And that should be in this one right here. So why don't we go for manpower? We want more troops, and that balances out as a 333 province. So can we attack him here? We cannot. Jampur is not very enthused about this war. Since we capture their fort, we can probably force a peace on them. We can. Let's march up here and beat up on their ally first, though. We can improve the kind of troops we have, but that will leave us disorganized temporarily, so I don't want to do that quite yet. I'm going to first win these battles. Okay. So, it has an alert here that we could replace our Indian foot soldiers, who you can see on the map are running around with pikes, they're spearmen. We could replace them with Indian arquebusiers, who use primitive firearms. If we do so, if we can see our stats right now, that if we do so, they will get a little bit better in shock and fire. But doing so will temporarily reduce our morale by quite a bit as these troops are disorganized. But every month we'll get a little bit back. And it's the end of the month, so we got some back instantly. Okay, we've inflicted a pretty thorough victory on them. We could wait, see if we can force one of their allies out of the war. For instance, Nepal is ready to leave the war. Let's reopen that up. Let's see. They would accept. We just agreed to white peace. We're just going to stop fighting them. They're going to stop fighting us. We do that, and that makes our war score go up, because we have such a huge percentage of the territory of everyone we're actually fighting. So, what do we want to take? Well, this war is over. Our cores. We have a claim. We have cores on these 4 provinces, I believe. We can see them right here, the ones that don't cause overextension. Central Doab, Etawah, Lucknow, Kandahar. And that won't upset people very much if we take those. We also want to take their forts to weaken them. It's going to upset people a little bit more. We could try getting a little bit more, but they're going to resist. Let's see if we can get some cash out of it. Or potentially we could make them break their alliance off with Nepal. No, they wouldn't agree to that. We haven't thoroughly defeated them. They still have an army. They still have some forts. And we've broken the walls on this one. But we don't have much manpower. I really don't want to engage in any big battles. We can get everything we want here. 2 forts, 4 provinces. In addition to that, only upset 3 nations. To the point that they would join a coalition against us, eventually. And we take a bunch of their money. That money is split between us and Baluchistan. They're not helping us for free. They get a fair share of the money based off of who did most of the fighting. So we've done the vast majority of the fighting, so we get the vast majority of the money. We also get a lot of prestige. And we're taking some stuff we don't have, that we don't have a right to, based off of our casus belli that we used, our grounds for war, cause for war. That's okay. And since we beat up on a rival, we're taking land from, we're going to get 50 power projection. We'll have a truce with them for the next 13 years. Great. If we look at the overview, we lost 15,000 men between us and Hindustan. They lost roughly double that. And that's nice. We picked up a lot of territory. A couple forts, and the next time we attack them, they're not going to have the defense of those forts. We want to siege down those forts. We do need to Reich and geared, so let's do that. We got a little bit of war exhaustion because some of our men were dying and some of our territory was occupied by the enemy. And what that does for us is it just increases our unrest. People get upset if you fight long wars, they're costly. They produce fewer goods, so it hurts our trade power. And our troops siege less well. They're tired of throwing bodies at the walls of enemy forts, etc. But that will degrade every month that we are at peace. It will decay. And we could see that Timurids are actually dealing with some rebels. That they have tribes. This is an effect of them being one of the heirs of the Mongol empires, that they have tribes that fight for supremacy of the Khanate. There's also Persian separatists that are going to try to create an independent Persia out of their country. Tribes. And there's some people that are fighting for an independent Khorasan here. This could be really good for us. And we should take a look at our ledger here and see how large the Timurid army is. So it used to be the largest in the world. Now it's down to 24,000 men. We actually have a larger army than the Timurids. We could attack them. And that's great news for us. See how long this video has been going on. 32 minutes, so I'm going to stop here.